Hi, my name's Ciara from Ciara's Home Yoga. This is Yoga for Flexibility. We'll start seated on our mat with our legs crossed. You can sit on a cushion or a bolster if that feels better for you. We'll bring one hand to our chest and one hand to our belly. Close our eyes and we'll start to consciously slow down our breathing, making sure we're breathing into our belly, feeling our belly rise and fall with every breath. And we'll stay here for a breath or two. Before we start, if a pose doesn't feel right for you, pull back and pick a pose that you know is a good fit. And release, bringing our hands back to our knees. We'll inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, we'll twist to the left. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, twist to the right. We'll continue like this, moving with our breath. We're not forcing in this pose, we're just warming up our spine to start and making it a moving meditation by moving with our breath. In this pose, we're twisting from our waist. Last one. And release. We'll make sure our shoulders are back and down before we turn our head to look over our left shoulder and lean our head back as much as feels good. If this feels too much, you can just bring your left ear to your left shoulder and breathe deeply here. Throughout this practice, I'll give gentle reminders to breathe deeply. Deep abdominal breathing oxygenates our blood and reduces inflammation in the body, and also activates our parasympathetic nervous system. And release, back to center. Shoulders back and down before looking over our right shoulder and lean our head back. Again, if this feels too much, you can just bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Shoulders remain back and down throughout, and breathe deeply. We'll check in with our abdomen here and feel it fill up with air on our inhales and deflate on our exhales. And release. Back to center, shoulders back and down. We'll bring our fingertips to our shoulders and we'll draw some semicircles with our elbows. Bring your elbows to touch in front and our wrists to touch behind our head. Moving at your own pace here, whatever feels good for you, but continuing to breathe deeply. And release. We'll shake out our arms now. We'll do some seated cat-cows now, and we'll bring the soles of our feet to our mat with our knees bent. We'll inhale, look up, chest open, shoulders back. Exhale, we'll curve into our spine, bringing our chin to our chest and squeezing our navel to our spine. And again, we'll repeat this a few times, moving with our breath, making sure that our shoulders remain down, away from our ears throughout. Holding onto our knees as we flow, breathing deeply. On our inhales, we'll come forward and look up, shoulders back and down, chest open, and exhale, squeezing our navel to our spine. Last one. And inhale back to center. We'll cross our legs, bring our shoulders back and down. We'll clasp our hands behind our back and move our hands away from our body. We'll tuck our chin in very slightly here to lengthen in our spine. Breathing deeply. Feeling our shoulder blades squeezing together. Shoulders remain back and down throughout. And release. We'll make our way to tabletop. We'll bring our knees open as wide as our mat, bring our big toes to touch, and we'll make our way to extended child's pose. Breathing deeply. In this pose, we're drawing our chest to our mat. We'll check in with our jaw here and behind our eyes and release any tension. On our next inhale, we'll walk our hands over to the left side of our mat, feeling into a nice side body stretch down the right side of our body. Breathing deeply. We'll become aware of the contact our body is making with our mat. Inhale back to center, and we'll walk our hands over to the right side of our mat now. Breathing deeply. Feeling the air working its way into our left armpit and back out. Breathing deeply throughout. Long, slow inhales and long, slow exhales. Inhale, we'll come back to center and we'll make our way to tabletop before tucking our toes and making our way to down dog. In Adho Mukha Svanasana, we're drawing our tailbone to the ceiling and our chest to our thighs. We'll walk our legs out here before coming to stillness. Inhale, we'll raise our right leg to the ceiling, and exhale, we'll bend our leg, bringing our heel to our bum. Inhale, straighten our leg again. Exhale, we'll step our right foot forward between our hands and come into our lunge. We'll come onto our fingertips and we'll stay here for a breath or two, lowering our hips as much as feels good. Activating in our back leg, pushing through our heel, breathing deeply. We'll bring our knee to our mat, untuck our toes, and we'll raise up in our upper body, keeping our pelvis tucked and our hips squared to the front of our mat. Option to stay in your lunge, or you can move with me. We'll open to the right side of our mat, bringing our left hand to our right knee, and we'll hold onto our left foot. Both shoulders remain back and down. And breathe deeply here. And we'll release our back foot to our mat and extend our arms. We'll come back to center before bringing our hands to our mat, and we'll heel toe our right foot out to the right side of our mat. We've a few options here. We can place our hands in a block, bring our forearms to our block, or for a third option, we can come over onto the edge of our foot and gently guide our right knee out to the right side of our mat. Play around with the different options, listen to your body and find the option that works best for you. Breathing deeply. Both shoulders remain down and away from our ears. The deeper we breathe here, the more rejuvenated we'll feel after our practice. So I keep reminding you to breathe deeply. And release. We'll heel toe our right foot back between our hands, tuck our back toes, and we'll make our way to down dog again. In this down dog, we'll sway our hips from side to side, while still drawing our chest to our thighs and our tailbone to the ceiling. Inhale, we'll raise our left leg to the ceiling. And exhale, we'll bend our leg, bringing our heel to our bum. Inhale, straighten our leg again. And exhale, we'll step forward between our hands. We'll stay on our lunge for a few deep breaths, coming up onto our fingertips if that feels good. We're lowering our hips here and pushing through our back heel. Remembering to breathe deeply here. And release, lowering our right knee to our mat, untuck our toes, and we'll raise up in our upper body. With the option to stay here, or you can move with me. We'll open to the left side of our mat, bringing our right hand to our left knee, and we'll reach back with our left hand to hold onto our foot. Shoulders remain back and down, and breathe deeply. And release, extending our arms before coming back to center. We'll lower our hands to our mat and we'll heel toe our left foot out to the left side of our mat. Play around with the different options again. Hands to our block, forearms to our block, or guiding our left knee out to the left side of our mat, coming on to the edge of our foot. Play around with the different options and find the option that works best for you on this side. Breathing deeply. Both shoulders remain down away from our ears. If you feel any discomfort here, pick a different option or come back to your lunge. Breathing deeply, long, slow inhales and long, slow exhales. And release, heel toeing our left foot to the inside of our left hand. We'll tuck our toes and make our way to down dog one last time, drawing our tailbone to the ceiling and our chest to our thighs. We'll take a cleansing breath here, inhaling through our nose and a long, slow exhale through our mouth. Before lowering our knees to our mat, and we'll come to a kneeling position, making sure our pelvis is tucked and our shoulders are back and down. We've two options here. For the first option, we'll bring our hands to our lower back, and on our inhales, we lean back, drawing our elbows together while making sure that our hips remain over our knees, and exhale back to center. Option to repeat that flow, or you can come with me for a variation of camel pose. We'll tuck our toes and bring our right hand to our right heel and our left hand to our left heel, making sure that our hips remain over our knees and letting our head hang freely, breathing deeply. To release, we'll bring our hands to our lower back and slowly and mindfully come back to kneeling. We'll make our way to sitting on our mat now with both legs extended, flexing our feet. You can use a block or a cushion here if that feels good. We'll lengthen out of our spine and fold forward, bringing your hands to your block or your hands to your mat, whatever works for you. If it feels good, you can bring your forearms to your block. We'll make sure that we're lengthening in our spine throughout and breathing deeply. Both feet are flexed and our shoulders remain down away from our ears. Checking in with our belly again, feeling it rise and fall with every breath. And release, coming back up to sitting. We'll move our block out of our way and we'll bring our left foot to the inside of our right inner thigh. Inhale, our left hand to the ceiling. Exhale, we'll stretch to our right foot, bringing our right hand to our left thigh. Feeling into a nice side body stretch again. Breathing deeply. And release. Inhale back to center. And exhale, we'll switch out our legs. Bring your right leg to our left inner thigh. We'll inhale our right hand to the ceiling. And exhale, we'll stretch over to our left side, reaching to our toes. Flexing our extended foot. So we're not collapsing in our ribs here. Our right ribs remain directly over our left ribs. And breathe deeply. Feeling into a nice side body stretch. Inhale back to center. We'll make our way to sitting on our mat now, with our legs bent and our soles of our feet on our mat. We'll bring our hands to the back of our knees and we'll rock and roll, squeezing our navel to our spine as we do this. Last one. And release. We'll make our way to sitting on our mat now with our legs extended. We'll bring the sole of our right foot to the outside edge of our left knee. Option to remain like that, or you can bring your left foot to your right hip, even weight between both sit bones. Our third option is to stack both our knees, one above the other, for a variation of cow face pose. If this feels too much, pull back to an option that you know is a good fit. Again, even weight between both sit bones. We'll bring our left palm to our right shoulder blade and we'll draw our left elbow back with our right hand, breathing deeply. Lengthening in our spine as we do this. And release, other side. Extending our right leg, bringing your left foot to the outside edge of our right knee. You can remain like that, or you have the further option to bring your right foot to your left hip. Or again, stack your knees, bringing both edges of our feet to our mat. Shoulders back and down. We'll bring our right palm to our left shoulder blade and draw our elbow back with our left hand. Breathing deeply. Lengthening in our spine with even weight between both sit bones. And release. We'll make our way to lying down on our mat. Holding onto our knees and lowering down one vertebrae at a time. We'll bring our feet behind our bum, close enough so that when we raise up in our upper body, we can skim the backs of our heels with our fingertips. Inhale, raise our hips up, coming up to bridge. Exhale, lower back down, one vertebrae at a time. We'll continue like this, moving with our breath. Our shoulders remain glued to our mat throughout. Last one. And release. We'll extend our right leg to the ceiling now and hold on to the back of our thigh for a nice hamstring stretch. If it feels good, you can extend your left leg. Flex your left foot and ground into the heel. In this stretch, you can hold on to the back of your thigh, the back of your shin, or hold on to your big toe. Remembering to breathe deeply here. Bringing softness to our face. And release, bringing both feet back to our mat again. We'll extend our left leg and clasp our hands to hold on to the back of our thigh. If it feels good, you can extend your right leg. Flex your foot and ground into the heel. We can hold on to our left leg at the back of our thigh, the back of our shin, or hold on to the big toe, whatever works for you. Breathing deeply here. Checking in with our abdomen again. Feeling our belly rise and fall with every breath. And release, bending our legs and bringing both feet back to our mat again, before extending both our legs into the air. We'll do some feet circles here, rotating our feet one way, and then the other way, and again, one way, and the other way. And release, bringing our feet back to our mat. We'll bring the soles of our feet together and we'll let our knees drop open. We'll bring softness to our face here. Breathing deeply. Stay here for as long as you need. I hope you enjoyed today's practice and you'll join me again. Please consider subscribing to Ciara's Home Yoga. Namaste.